Have you ever ended the day feeling like you're super busy and exhausted, but then you actually really didn't accomplish very much? Today, we are cutting through the chaos because you are not alone, and we're going to talk about strategies to actually help move the needle and leave you feeling accomplished and productive at the end of the day. Doesn't that feel good? That will feel awesome, I promise. So stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Brianne McKenzie. I'm a mom of 4 little kids, teacher of students with special needs, and a health and productivity buff. And this is the Get Shit Done podcast, where I help busy moms learn to get shit done in their lives through everyday tangible productivity tips and tricks that'll be sure to help you get shit done. Whether you're a busy working mom inside or outside the home, I'll share my how-tos and my step-by-step strategies you need to prioritize what's important in your life and create the energy you need to follow through. Now, grab your earbuds and join me for a mom chat while you're doing the dishes, folding the laundry, or exercising with your kids. And let's get shit done together.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Get Shit Done podcast. Today we're chatting all about how we can actually be productive at the end of the day. And if you followed me for any length of time, you know it has to do with your top 3 priorities. So today we're going to chat about how you can actually move the needle. And that's going to be a little bit around the Get Shit Done method, how to cut the guilt when it comes to trying to be productive in a day when we're busy moms, right? We're going to work on our mindset, and we're really going to get a framework of how to do this so that it becomes systematic, because when things are systems, it makes it so much easier because we take the thinking out of it. So let's get started. So for my first point, I'm going to chat a little bit about how not everything can be a priority. We can really fall into a trap of feeling like everything's important because there's so much to do, but really we can take a little bit of a perspective and look and see that, cleaning out that closet today when we have no dishes to eat with and the laundry's not done or we need clothes to wear, we can kind of see where the priority might lie. So it's really easy to get into a trap of feeling like everything's important, but I'm going to help you today on this episode with a framework that's going to really help. But my biggest tip right away is narrowing it down to 3 things. And the really cool thing about that is that it's something that becomes, gives you a feeling of accomplishment because we can actually check these 3 things off the list. We can make sure we go to bed at night with these 3 things done. And your brain is going to really shift and learn that we can be accomplished. And we're not going to go to bed feeling like we're focused on all the things we didn't get done. When we take a few minutes and we talk about or we think about top 3 things, it really does just help to put things into perspective. So how I want you to do this is when you get a minute and you want to do this and you're trying to prioritize, I want you to ask yourself, what are those things that if I laid my head on my pillow tonight that would make me feel good? So, or make me feel like these things are a necessity to get done. So I think about it in the morning. I'm like, okay, you know what? I have like 7 loads of laundry that I have not put away. And it's like something that's been on my mind is taking up my brain space and my capacity. So that has to be a top 3. So that would be one thing. Lately for me, my top 3 has to include movement because that actually gives me the energy to do the other 2. And it's trying to prioritize getting it done as early as I can in the morning. So that's for me in this season of life. So those are the kinds of things I want you to filter it through. So filter through all the things you have to get done by saying, what do I want to have done by the time I lay my head on my pillow tonight? And I promise you that's going to help to narrow it down a bit. Once we are able to narrow it down, we have those 3 things, we can begin to work on those throughout the day. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. But you are going to build some momentum. So if you have something that you want to get done that you know is a priority, but has been on your mind and you've just been putting it off, if you got that done early on in your day or you made it a priority, you are going to then have the momentum to do the rest. And you're going to just by default feel like you're on a high of getting shit done. So I promise you, this is it really does work, especially for when you feel like you're in the middle of like chaos. Okay, so my second point is about figuring out when you're going to accomplish these top 3. So I want you to really think about your day. I like to do a block planning method. Other people choose to schedule it in at a specific time of day. But what I want you to do is think about your day and where you are going to accomplish or work on your priority. So for me, if you don't have the Get Shit Done planner, you need to join my club, because when you join my club, you get the planner for free, and it literally walks you through all of this with the tutorial. So it goes along with creating your top 3 and getting shit done. That's a little side note. You can check out the show notes for the link to the club for $5 a month. Anyway, side note. So you can choose your top 2 priorities, but then look at your blocks throughout your day and when you're going to accomplish those priorities. But think about the capacity you have. So you might say, okay, I'm going to come home, I'm going to do the laundry and the dishes when I get home from work, and then they'll be done and I'll check those off the list. Think about, what is it like for you normally at the end of your day? Are you exhausted? Do you need some time to decompress? Because perhaps that's not the best time to put one of those top 3. Or you're going to put one like a walk or movement to help create the energy to do the rest of the top 3. Using your brain capacity to your advantage, your energy that you have, or your energy peak times, those things are really helpful to help get you to know when the best time to accomplish your top 3 will be. I like to do this earlier in the morning so that I know what my time I have, but that doesn't always happen. So I have lots of different times in the day I can do this, but you have to realize how much time you have left as well, because you're not going to have these 3 massive tasks if you're, it's 7:00 at night and you might have like an hour or 2. Maybe you're going to fold laundry while you're watching a show or something. So that point is choosing the time of day that you think these priorities are going to get done so that you can have a little bit of forethought and plan ahead. So my third point really is more of a longer term thing when we're doing a new system like this. And it's really learning over time how to shift our mindset and change our behavior patterns and awareness so that we don't fall back into these traps, or we can recognize it so we can get back on the system. So what I mean by that is, a lot of us grew up when we have these perfectionist ideals in our brain. We have to do it all. We have to check everything off the list so that that's our standard. But I'm speaking for myself. I have learned over the years that leads to burnout, and that is not sustainable. And that leads to feelings of failure. So why not make sure we're getting a little bit accomplished, and then we can add more if possible. But it takes a lot of reframing and retraining of our brain to get there, because that's not natural for us. So awareness around this and working on this long term is key. Now, I will say, when you have 3 things and you've checked them off through your list, you lay down at night and you think, oh my gosh, I did those 3 things. Those are small wins, that momentum that's building, and those thought patterns in your head in the night are really helping to change the mindset, right? And change that framework. So these are all little things that help to retrain our brain when we are adding these systems in place. It's a feeling of accomplishments, and it's a feeling of knowing it's going to get done. Now, another thing I always love about systems, and this one in particular, is say you didn't get your top 3 checked off the list, you might have got 2, and you could quickly fall back into that pattern of I'm not going to do this, and it didn't work, and I'm a failure, blah, 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 blah. But the one thing about having a system to accomplish your top 3 is that you can actually then feel liberated and just take a deep breath and know that tomorrow you have another way to tackle these things and another filter to run it through to make sure it's something that's achievable and that you have the capacity for. So it's actually liberating to have a system in place to do these things. I promise over time, it's going to feel more relaxing to know you have this in your life. And that does help to take all the guilt and shame and feelings around, and the burnout away from it. So having this system in place is going to really help with that. It'll help to retrain your brain so that you're able to then accomplish more and not be weighed down by those feelings of guilt. Okay, those are my 3 little points for you to help you get started with cutting through the chaos, feeling productive ASAP. You can literally start this today. If you want some support with that, I have my Get Shit Done checklist and the home systems checklist that are available for free. So just subscribe down below at the link. But also, if you really want to next level you can join my club and get the whole Get Shit Done planner and the tutorials, the videos from me, along with it when you join. So I would love for you to check that out, see if it's right for you, and subscribe so that you can grab the info when it comes. And it's so much better to do this together because then you have like the accountability and you have people in the trenches with you. I hope you have a lovely week ahead and this is helpful. Take care.
Well, that's it for me today. I'm likely needed for some mom duties right about now. Thanks so much for joining me for a chat, and let's do it again soon. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Brianne_McKenzie123 for more tips and tricks on how to